but Bugle just kind of knew the knew the layout of these decks too well. He knew some of these interactions too well, and I think
So,
that pushed him over the edge there. Oh,
from the floor, we have the runner-up ready to do an interview.
All right.
sounds good. Sounds good. Joshua, you with us? Oh, got a little silence on one end there.
Hello.
Hey there, hey Joshua, how's it going?
Not bad.
How did you feel making it as far as you did today? Second place is nothing to scoff at by any means.
So I was very happy to get top 16. Top 8 was the biggest achievement, honestly, because I fought grandpas, and that was just 3 fantastic games.
Okay.
Past that, I didn't care too much, and then I fought my brother in the top 4, so that's
Okay. Kind of unfortunate
whatever.
having to knock
We
him
knew I
out.
would win.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then Bugle was a lot of fun to play with. I did not expect to win it, so I'm, as happy as I can be, really.
Fair enough. What were you expecting going into that match? Because I imagine you kind of knew, at least in part, what he was running. You guys got to check each other's deck lists beforehand. You knew what problems could occur. Maybe not the unique situations that could present themselves on the board, but you knew what cards to be afraid of. You knew how many copies he had of things. Was there any situation in particular you were afraid of? Was there a board state you were trying to go for that you didn't end up getting like you wanted?
So really the biggest thing to be afraid of was Party 1, which is the strongest part of being the 3-color deck.
Yep, definitely a powerful card. What got you thinking about using Fire When Ready and what's the demo?
Family Feud. Just Clowning Around,
Yeah.
Fire When Ready, and Family Feud. All interesting choices that I think ended up working out pretty well for you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm a control deck. Confronting my own problem isn't super important.
Mm-hmm.
You can always confront your opponent, and that's what Shining Armor's for.
Mm-hmm.
So I just found Family Feud was really strong when your opponent had a few silver bullets. Like how in the second game, Family Feud called both of you.
That was a heck of a situation. Absolutely.
That was amazing.
Very impactful in that one. Were there any design choices you found didn't work out as well as you wanted? Was there anything where you're like, I wish I ran one fewer copies of this, or no copies of this, or an extra copy of that? Anything along those lines?
Well, you play against a lot of different decks, and so as a control deck, you're supposed to try to hit everything. And so it can be really hard to tell what isn't working, just because sometimes it works against one deck, sometimes it doesn't. In the E-Bugle match, in particular, Mare is strictly a liability. She's my only resource removal, and in study session, that's next to nothing.
Yeah, very true.
But in most other matches, Mare is the right choice because she can do her over and over again at immediate speed since events are immediate.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely thought that was an interesting choice.
I do think that was really strong, and unless that study session was on the board, I think that kind of gave you a little bit of an edge, because Bugle did not have that immediate speed resource destruction. So the ability to do that on the fly if you needed to, or Bugle had limited barrels, you had limited barrels. If he played one, you could destroy it on the fly if you needed to. He could not do the same to you, so he could lock you out of a color temporarily. He could make you pay that extra AT, but he was not able to completely lock you out of a color at any point. So I do think that was a pretty significant choice. I do think that that could have worked out well there, and I do like that choice a lot.
I would bet if we got to play 3 full matches, we probably would have seen interactions like that. So we only really got to finish one of them.
True.
Yeah, definitely. So, F-Stop is a really prevalent card in most control decks. Did you ever consider it, or are you just kind of like, no, I feel like just sticking to pink-purple is the best choice?
So, I mean, I definitely thought about it. I mean, mostly I thought about playing purple-white.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big proponent of two-color control decks.
Yeah.
I think at this point in the game, colors have enough tech that you usually don't need more cards, from 3 colors. Like, my deck was 53 cards.
Yeah.
I couldn't take out more than, 2 of them if I had to, and still have a deck that I liked.
Mhm.
So I just couldn't really imagine deck building with F-Stop in the deck I played.
Definitely.
So, he's definitely very powerful. I'm not a big fan of him because when you play, the 3 gyros, 3 F-stops, it basically means that you pay 1 more for every event you play.
Mm-hmm.
And against aggro, I don't think that's strong enough. Against control, it definitely can be, just because you always have the silver bullet.
Mhm.
And that's what Buell had, and so he was able to tear me apart twice.
I see.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Moving back a little, I suppose. I might know you by maybe an online alias, something along those lines. We've commentated here before. I don't recognize your name. I'm sorry if that sounds a little disrespectful. I don't believe I've seen it around a whole lot. At least not as much as say Bugle, who's been around for the very beginning. Where did you? How long have you been playing? What area are you from?
So yeah, I would be very surprised if you I've been playing for probably about 2 years.
Okay.
Maybe 2.5 now.
Hmm.
I came to Gen Con last year and played a much weaker version of this.
Mhm.
There are some recorded matches, but the deck did not do very well. I came in 28th seed, I think. So
Okay.
you wouldn't know who I am.
Fair enough.
I don't have a presence on the red.
Oh,
Okay, so definitely a heck of a jump from 28th though.
Yeah.
So no, kudos. That was pretty fantastic to watch. I really enjoyed a lot of those really unique choices that ended up working out for you, because I think it's easy for players to make run different cards, kind of think they're innovating and end up not having them work out in certain situations that they may not have seen. But a lot of those were really unique and ended up working out very well, I think. I think the Family Feud was one real strong example. I think it was yesterday during one of your games on stream. You confronted your opponent's problem as well as your own jest, replaced your own problem into Fire When Ready. Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yep, and scored that 7. You were a little behind against a farm deck. I don't remember who it was.
It was Grandpa's. It was
Okay.
Mono Orange Control.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then pulled that 7 out of nowhere to get that game. So that was very cool to see as well. We were flipping out about that on stream a little bit.
Sorry.
So you said that you were considering purple-white control. I'm actually the guy who's kind of sporting around Cruel Mistress. What made you kind of decide that over the other one?
So, I've played Pink Purple for about 2.5 years. It's the deck that I find most fun.
Mm-hmm.
Pink is really satisfying to play for draws and the recycling. It's just, you always feel like you're in control of your side of the board. And then purple is, obviously, you need purple.
True.
So, I didn't go for the white. My version of the white was, kind of standard. I was a proponent of doing 3 Octavia's, 2 Destiny Drains, and just saying, no, you don't play cards, actually.
Okay.
What cards?
But it's just not as interesting for me, I guess.
Fair enough.
I
Playing what
also,
you know.
It uses Cruel Taskmistress because that's an amazing card.
Oh, yeah, I love that card.
Always fun to see a spoiled rich into a taskmistress.
Yeah.
Were there any games that you feel like you were having a lot of trouble in, or that you did not expect to win, that you were able to pull out, or any interactions where you're like, I don't think I have an answer to this. Oh, hey, I can do this thing and, and handle this way.
Yeah, okay, so there are a couple of applicable ones.
Mhm.
So Grandpa's game that I won, that was out of nowhere. I did not expect that at all. I mean, I went into it knowing I have a fire one ready, but before that turn, I had not expected to do that. I thought I had no option.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Those are always fun to see. Where you're just like, wait a second, hold up now. We were commenting before that. We were saying, oh, okay, very good play. This will catch him up. This will make it a pretty close game towards time here. And there's a fire one ready in there, and that could. Oh look, a fire one ready. There we go. All done. Good game.
Definitely, and I actually it was interesting that you ran a deck of 50. I have kind of I found that
53, actually.
53. Oh, okay.
Wow,
Then that
8
streamer
cards
was-
over.
Wow, that's. I mean, you run DJ. I've never thought that going over 45 was the most taboo, not a good idea thing. So, kudos to you for actually going like, nah, let's go with 53. I feel good with 53.
Comfortable with
So
that, yeah.
I respect control decks of 48 cards or more.
Yeah.
I honestly do not think you can fit enough cards into a 45 card control deck.
Yeah,
Obviously you can. I just got my butt whooped.
yeah.
But I'm a stubborn old man of 19, and I just think that there's not enough stuff in there.
Fair enough. I kind of feel the same way when building control.
Where you get to avoid all of your entry and just do 45 tech.
Mhm.
Still think it's not quite enough.
Definitely.
I was surprised. There were, I think I played against 2 decks that almost milled me all the way out. So 8 cards right there is huge.
Very
If
true.
I hadn't played those 8 more cards, I probably would have lost against Grandpa's in the top 16 match.
That's very possible.
Definitely something to consider.
You did also mention that you said that there were a couple situations that you ran into where you're just like, oh, that's an option, that works, cool. One of them was the fire when ready. You said that was the most notable one. Did you have another interaction that you just kind of learned on the fly, or something you realized that helped out a lot that you can recall?
Very good question. Oh, yes. There was one very fun one. So it was also against Grandpa's.
Mhm.
It was, so he had an Appaloosa down. He's mono orange, protecting his friends.
Yeah.
I put down a Mare. He has Limestone Pie, so he immediately deactivates Mare. And so something that I hadn't really expected to happen, I was able to do, which is ID Portal on Mare. Mare doesn't change in any way, except now she's a new card,
Yep.
so she has an effect.
I remember that. Just like, oh, okay, she's no longer turned off. We can get rid of that Appaloosa now. Yeah, no, that worked out very, very well.
So that was very fun.
So we only have a little bit of time left. Is there anything you would like to say to the community, to the stream, or?
I don't think so.
All right.
I really didn't go into this with any aspirations, so no uplifting message. Just I really like the pony card game.
Fair enough. I like that.
I like that too.
Well, once again, I guess we'll wrap it up with that. Congratulations! Thank you for some very entertaining games. Those were all awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Play of the event. At least to me, I think the one I got the most excited about was definitely you realizing that just into that fire when ready. So, congratulations. Good talking to you, and good luck in the future.
Yep. Best wishes.
Alrighty. Not sure if we're going to be interviewing Bugle here. I think we'll keep online with you guys here for another few minutes, just to see what we got going on. We did lose our source temporarily at least, so not getting a.
I think that's them cutting the stream.
Yeah, I think they're cutting the stream on their side. So we'll go ahead and wrap up in a second here. I just want to wait for confirmation from the other end there that where we are or aren't going to get another interview. Again, that was Joshua Stewick that we were speaking with a moment ago. He got second place running Purple Pink, a deck similar to Bugle's. A lot of techs of his own that ended up working out really well, really unique situations that won him a lot of games. So
Definitely a strong choice.
Oh.
Hello.
Alrighty, I think we're with Ericat at the moment.
No, you're with me, Bugle.
Oh, it's Bugle. Okay, Bugle. Sorry, our sound's a little off at the moment. Bugle's with us. Are we interviewing you, good sir?
Sorry, finicking with the microphone. What did you say?
Are we going to be doing an interview with our champion here?
I would love to.
Alrighty, you got time now? It's something.
There's an echo. Is there supposed to be an echo?
No.
Here, let me try to turn this down a little bit. Give me just a sec here. Alright, that should be a little better, I think.
Hello?
We good?
I didn't hear anything, so cool.
Alrighty, cool. So congratulations on first and foremost.
Thank you. I've been trying very, very hard for that.
And it definitely paid off. One thing that we're saying is I think it's very cool that you made it to first with both a deck of your own design that you spread around a lot, definitely something you've been running and working on for a while, testing a lot. And secondly, that mimics doing a lot of work for you, a card you designed being able to help carry to first as well. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. It's interesting, actually. That's because last year we had Nation's card, the Changeling Pretender. You know, that won, right? And
That
was
is
a create
true.
Card. So, create a card Changeling seemed to be really good.
Maybe we'll see a trend. Maybe next year we'll get another changeling doing some damage for us again.
The real funny thing is it wasn't going to be a Changeling at first.
Oh, okay.
It was going to be the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
I remember you telling us that.
Forgot about that. That is a thing.
Yeah, that's why there's 3 modes. There's and it's a power of 3 for power. 6.
2 each.
And
Yep. Okay.
And it's plus 3 AT because it was supposed to be 3, but then they changed the flavor on me. But oh well.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Design's there at least, so it's definitely something.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with this. Going into the final match, being not quite a mirror, but very, very similar in the end goals of these decks, at least. How did you feel? Were there any cards you were particularly afraid of? Any situations you knew you needed to get into? Any situations you knew you needed to avoid? Cards you knew you needed to deal with as soon as you could, or try to keep safe? Anything like that?
I knew that I had the better long game strategy because I have Party of Ones and F-stops, and he does not. Though, as you saw game 2, just because I have a good long game strategy doesn't mean I'm going to take it in the long game.
Yep.
Made a huge mistake, and it cost me that game. But yeah, my strategy was to try and get more AT than him, which works like half the time. Try and deny him purple, if possible.
Yep.
And just play towards the long game. Like you saw game 1, there was like 8 turns where I was just being very patient, gaining my AT,
Yep.
passing turn, just repeat. Because I knew that eventually I would draw the Party of One,
Yep.
or the Gyro, or whatever it was at the time, and I would have an out. And the first game, he played a lot of friends, and he was getting rid of all of my friends. And I'm like, okay, if I need to, I will play this Party of One and have you keep one friend. But I didn't need to. I got to keep the F-stop.
So that worked out pretty well. That is something we were noticing. We were commentating. We were saying that whole time. He's got a lot of friends out. I don't think he realizes that he may be vulnerable to that party one that's in the grave. Just because the f-stops aren't out, just because the study session is out, there is still that cleaning up in there that can get that back. And you ended up doing that quite a bit, and that helped out a lot, clearly. Another thing that I'm curious if this specific nuance of this was intentional. Obviously, you wanted to be getting more AT than him, and that was working a lot of the time. Did you want to keep the score as low as you did? Because I was pointing out that since the score was so low, you were only gaining 2 AT each a turn. But if you had 2 paper twies out and he did not, you are gaining 200% of his action tokens. If it were later on, if it were 3 or 4 AT for each of you, you'd only be gaining 60, 50% of his action tokens. So that lead wouldn't have been as strong.
I was in no hurry to score. When I felt I could, I would, but I was like, keeping it low was good. And I don't know if you heard that third game where I said, you know what, I think I'm happy I didn't score 2 points, because he would have been getting 3 AT, and I was okay on just being on 2.
True.
Though that changed when he got rid of my paper twilights and he had some.
That turnaround looked a little rough for a little bit, and then that party of one play coming in clutch again. Definitely MVP.
I was calculating how much AT do I need to play gyro for cleaning up, because I knew cleaning up was near the bottom of my deck, because I meticuloused it there because I didn't want it to be discarded to yellow pairs.
Yep.
Because I think cleaning up is the single most important card in my deck in that matchup.
I think that is true, and we were noticing that game too.
When he got rid of it, that's why I lost. Well, he didn't need to get rid of it, but I lost all my f-stops.
Yeah, and
but,
you didn't have a way to get that back.
Yeah. But had I gotten it back, I could have gotten back the f-stops to get back that, and kept going.
Yep.
But he had a plan, and I wasn't thinking. And I was thinking, should I get back to cleaning up now, or do I get it next turn? I'll get it next turn. Everything went wrong.
You did end up on top in the end. You did learn from it, so I suppose that's the important part. One play I was also really happy to see in that same vein, while you were kind of trying to, dodge the yellow parasprites, was at the beginning of Game 3. You had both of your barrels in hand. We didn't know where the makeover was, and you would have been able to gyro into it, meticulous it, keep it in the deck just to make sure you didn't draw it until you needed it. But you had both barrels in hand while there were 2 yellow parasprites. One of them got hit, and we were sitting here like, oh my god, the chances are low. But if that second barrel gets hit, that is a tragic situation. Thankfully, that one didn't. That worked out for you. But I saw you drop that barrel immediately just to make sure that would not succumb to those yellow parasprites. And I think that ended up working out for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I played it immediately, and I knew it was safe in play because his only resource removal is Mare, and I had a study section.
Yep, and that...
So barrel's just safe. It's 1 AT, do nothing, but keep my barrel safe. Yeah,
absolutely. One thing that was a little bit hard for us to keep track of during those games was what was called by mimics every turn. I imagine it was events pretty much all of the time.
Yeah, did the paper not show up on stream? I wrote that specifically for stream.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, no.
I made little E's, little T's, and little R's. Against him, it was E every single turn.
Okay, so it was literally always events. Okay, that's kind of what we figured, but we were thinking at some points, well, if he knocks Joshua out of his purple, he could switch both these mimics. I think it was game 1. Switch both these mimics to resources and make Joshua have to pay 7 to re-enter that color. But that didn't really end up happening after that blackmail came out for you after that fire one ready.
I probably would have continued to name
that game was just over at that point.
Yeah, very very true. Yeah, I don't think that was
the blackmail.
I don't think that was at all unreasonable of him to have called that game. Likewise, same for you during that second game after the situation became apparent. That one minuet, that one copy of minuet coming in clutch for him at the end of game 2 there.
And I'd forgotten about it, and oh man.
Ended up ending that game. Were there switching gears a little bit, I guess, from the the plays themselves. Looking at the deck, were there any cards you wished you had run more copies of, fewer copies of, switched with something else? One thing we were kind of commenting on was the fact that you didn't have a Destiny Drain. You had 2 Napcakes. At first, I thought that was a questionable choice. Those Napcakes ended up doing a lot of work in that matchup. But I was thinking a Destiny Drain might have helped you out. Did you not think of that? Did you decide against it, that you didn't need it? Was there...
I decided that I didn't need it because I had the misfire, which I thought would work against toolbox control, but he wasn't toolbox control. So I do think that I would have tried to find room for a Destiny Drain, but if I did that, I would have taken out the Ponyville Emergency, which also helps me a lot. So I think it was correct not to have the Destiny Drain because I didn't expect a lot of combo.
Okay.
There was only one combo in all of top 28, or not. Well, in all 28 players, there was one combo player, and I did play him in top 16. He was 16th seed. I was 1st seed, but it didn't matter because I had the mimics, and I was thinking my mimics and my my removal suite should be able to handle any control deck.
Fair enough.
That being said, I was absolutely terrified of Grand Paza's deck.
Yeah, we
which
heard
I know
that.
you guys saw. Like, he played my final opponent in top 16, right?
Yep,
Yes.
sure did.
You got to see that.
So he did you the favor. He knocked him out for you. Helped you get up to the end there, and then you returned the favor. You knocked him out. What a jerk.
Yeah.
Were there any other matchups that you were particularly afraid of more than anything else, or under anything else?
Not really. I admit I was a little bit afraid when I lost game 1 to Destiny Draw because I let him special beam cannon my barrel.
Ooh,
and I
okay.
couldn't find my other barrel for way too long, and my makeover was in the discard, so I couldn't gyro for it. So he won that game, but then he conceded game 2 pretty early, and he conceded game 3 almost immediately. Because I denied him purple, and I did not flip my main, and he was playing Chrysalis.
That'll do it, I suppose.
So he had 1 purple wreck, 1 orange wreck, and I had F-stop and a Napcakes in the discard, a Rainbow Shine, and a Paper Twilight in play. So,
Okay.
So basically, I was just going to Napcakes whatever he played for the rest of the game,
Yep.
and he couldn't do much
Sit
about
at a
that.
problem, confront, take
Yeah,
it, run it to
exactly.
the end. What was your favorite game that you played?
Oh, that finals was fantastic.
I agree.
It's pretty grand.
Grand finals, one
Yeah.
might say. But no, congratulations. That finals was nuts. I was not sure how that kind of game was gonna play out. I think everybody knew it was gonna be a little grindy. But it wasn't slow. It wasn't dead. There were things happening. There was constantly pressure back and forth. Mimic's doing a lot of work for you.
I
Study
think the
session
longest
breakdown
turn was
doing
like-
work for
oh,
him.
For both of us.
Very true. Very true. So no, all in all, fantastic finals. Yesterday you only ended up having to play 4 games, correct?
4 games, yeah.
Alrighty, yeah, you got that 21. Those 3 buys, pushing you into day 2. Do you have any ideas for your build a card this time? Not that I expect you to say them out loud or spoil anything, but do you have any ideas yet? Is there anything that you've been like, I kind of wish this was a thing in game?
Yeah, I do not have any ideas, but Adam told me, and I'm very, very excited about this. Adam told me that if I can get him a main by the end of the week, we'll see what happens.
Huh.
Interesting. That is
Wow.
that's a pretty unique situation. So that could
Yeah.
be pretty cool. So congratulations on
I
that
have
one
no
for
idea
sure.
what I would do. Like, literally no idea what I would do for a main. But
Do you have a color in mind at least, do you think?
yeah. I'm I'm going to try and make an aggro card because I made a control card last year. So I'm going to try and make an aggro card because I've noticed there are two types of people when it comes to Changeling Mimics.
Okay.
The kind that think that it's great and the kind that think it is awful.
I think it's pretty great.
I think it's pretty great.
Well, thank you.
I play Control.
I know Critical is a fan as well.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
I
absolutely.
really like that card.
Trying to think of do you I guess I think we're out of questions. We asked you just about everything. I think we asked Joshua too.
Okay.
I guess one last question here. Did you obviously you tried very hard to get first, worked out. You got those buys. You did a lot of testing. You ran a couple different decks, ran it against everything you could. Did you expect to get first? Did you think there was something that was like certainly going to knock you out if you ran into it?
So a week ago, I thought I had a pretty good chance at first. Just because I'd been playing against Hot Wings, and that's the reason there are 2 nap cakes, by the way.
Okay.
Turn 1 Rainbow Shine nap cakes is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I knew I had a good matchup against Hot Wings. I knew I had a good matchup against Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see me play against Farm? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That was pretty brutal. That Nightmare Moon, discarding that second Catajack, I was super happy about that.
Yeah, that was pretty impactful, I think.
And so I know I had good matchups against both of them. So it basically came down to control. What control players can beat me? And I was thinking, I think the only control players that are going to beat me are pink. Then Grand Paws proved me wrong by building a mono orange deck that I was actually pretty scared of. I don't think I had a 0% chance, but that Smooth, that's awful. And Catajacks and Limestone isn't great.
Yep.
And yeah, I wasn't looking forward to that.
Yep.
The 2 of us will have to play at some point to see. Because I've never played it against him. He's played it against me, or not me. He's played it against V-Bot, but he's never played it against me playing V-Bot.
Okay.
And I don't mean to discourage whoever he play tested it against, but I know the ins and outs of that deck.
Yeah, no,
oh
absolutely.
God.
I think you've run it more than anyone else. You made it. You've been playing it for a long time.
Yeah, I built the first version in October last year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
It's been around for
9 months.
For a while now. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
But yeah, then Defenders came out, and it's like, hey, you've got belly flop. Gyro for belly flop is fantastic.
Yep.
And you've got Rainbow Shine. And I don't know if you heard me before, but before I said I'm only going to run 1 Rainbow Shine in this deck.
Oh.
Boy, was I foolish.
Yeah.
There are 3, and there need to be 3.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the other thing was the Mimics, of course, yeah. So 7 Defenders cards, but they are very important, all 7 of them.
I agree. I think all those did a lot of work for you.
So I am really sad, though. No one got to see my mad belly flop tech. One of my problems is Awkward Quinceañera.
Oh, that's funny. I like that.
Use Vinyl to make a friend. Use F-Stop to get back belly flop. Whoops.
Destruction every turn. And if you've got 2 of those, if you got one of those Rainbow Shines on the board, you're only paying 1 to do that every turn. One cost for destroy anything at immediate speed. Yeah, no, that's that's pretty nasty. That didn't come out at all, you said?
Sorry?
That combo, that little combo didn't end up coming out at all in any of your games, you said?
No, not once.
Okay,
no.
That's a little sad.
So I noticed that you
I don't
actually
think I
made
even
a
flipped into
really.
it.
Oh.
One more time?
I don't think I even flipped into it once.
Wow. Okay.
Blackmail a couple of times. My one copy of Figuring Out Friendship once, and sometimes the It's a Secret to Every Pony, but didn't ever get Awkward Quinceañera.
Weird.
So I noticed that there was actually quite a change from your build that we kind of saw. I think it was in BapsCon and the build you are running now, where you kind of just decided to commit to the 3 f-stops. You even added another photo finish, and you went down on 1 on all events. Did you think that was a much better way of going about the deck?
There were always 2 photo finishes, but yeah, I increased to 3 f-stops from 1. And my original toolbox suite, it was a lot of 2-ofs, but it felt right to go to 1-ofs for most things. Like against Farm, Portal isn't good, but the other one, Magic Site, is really good.
Yep.
Like, fantastic. So, and against Aggro, usually those are both like the same thing.
True.
So it was like I had 2 portals without actually having 2 portals.
Okay, fair enough.
And for the yoinks, like, I took out the yoinks entirely. Like, there were no yoinks in that deck. And the reason for that was because of Rainbow Shine gave me just so much more AT that I could afford to not have 0 AT things. Plus, face-off timing is awkward.
Very true. Yeah.
And then 1 food fight turned into 1 belly flop because, like I said, gyro into belly flop is fantastic. And then since I had a lot of 1-ofs, and I personally feel f-stop is the strongest card in the game right now, I'm like, I just have to run 3. And I ran, and it just worked out better. I took out the juggling routines, they both turned into f-stops, and I think it just works better.
I think I agree with that.
Yep, definitely.
I think that's it as far as questions go on our end. Do you have anything to say to stream?
Thank everyone for watching. From what I hear, you guys were going nuts about those last games, and I'm glad that we gave you a good show.
Absolutely, I completely agree that was the case. That was pretty fantastic to watch, and no combo. Even though I'm kind of a fan of combo, not seeing those disrupting, just seeing those decks going at it, those players going at it, uninterrupted. It was kind of a treat.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing I want to say is, took me 4 years. Took me 4 years, but I did it, and I'm happy now. I don't have to win anymore.
You've done it.
I don't have to try hard.
You reached the goal. You're at the summit. That's it. Contentment.
I mean, I'm gonna try next year, but I'm not. If I don't make it, I won't. It'll be fine.
You did it once.
Yeah. I have a mat that says champion. That's enough.
Fair enough.
Definitely. Congratulations, Bugle.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Alrighty.
We were rooting for you in secret.
In secret. We didn't want to be Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
Any final remarks or any last thoughts, I guess?
No, I was just gonna say that puts 2 champions in Colorado now.
That is true.
2 champions at Direwolf. I get to go brag to my coworkers. None of them are gonna care, but I mean they'll be happy. But it's not Magic. I'm no LSV.
Fair enough. Still noteworthy. Still number 1. Alrighty,
Anyway,
I think
yeah.
think we're
I was
gonna
gonna
call
say,
it with that though. Again, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic to see. We will talk to you when you're back in state, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and thanks for commentating for us.
Of course, happy to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, our cat says huge thanks.
It was a good time. Always happy to.
Yep, it was great.
Next year you'll have to come in here though.
We might have to. It's been too long. We might have to show up.
Yeah. You gotta show me how it's done.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We'll give you a fight.
Thanks for the compliment.
All right. See you later.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks again, and yeah. See you later. Bye.
Alrighty. Bye
See you
bye.
later, bye.
Alrighty. So that was your national champion, everybody. Luke Wyman, Bugle. He's the guy who runs the Silver Spanner tournaments on the Reddit for you all, as well as the writer of Cloud Chaser and Flitter Explain. Both very good resources for the community. If you appreciate what he does, he is a part of the Commentaries Magic crew. They were the ones who brought you this stream today. They are basically the biggest group that brings these streams to you, puts up these cameras at these big events to broadcast them to you. Because of that, we've got a donate button down below. If you are able to donate, it's very much appreciated. That money goes towards being able to set up streams like the one you saw today and being able to pass these games on to you guys. So every little bit counts if you're able to do that. I think with that, I think we're gonna be signing off.
Yep.
This has been Furry Flurry.
This has been Critical Thought.
Thank you all for joining us today. We saw some fantastic games, and you all have a wonderful night.
Best of luck, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye from the floor.
And goodbye from the floor as well. Bye, Bugle.
Bye, everyone, from everyone.
Bye-bye.